Hello and good evening. Yes, indeed, to all my real live adults all around the world, all over the globe, city to city, state to state. Hope everyone is great. My bad. I'm tickled already by this situation here. It's your man Live Tie. Coming only as I can come. At all my real live adults on the Real Live Adult Time Stories podcast platform radio show. No, this is the Real Live Adult Time Stories podcast platform. And I keep it all the way unapologetic, passionate, detailed, and artistic about the levels of love. Good, bad, and ugly. But yes, indeed, honored and privileged to be here. I'm about to go ahead and get into chapter 60 of the Real Live Adult Time Stories. All stories are created by none other than TKK to JKK. And on chapter 60, I'm giving you part 1 and part 2 this time. Yes, indeed. Feels good about it. Feels good, you know? So without further ado, let's begin the story. Chapter 60, titled, This Place Looks Familiar, Part 1 and 2. One midnight Saturday night in the city of Cleveland. The place was Splats in the Flats, a nightclub that consisted of popular hip-hop, rock and roll, depending on the day of the week, and any other popular genre of music. Anyhow, this night was all about DJ Besto, the late DJ Besto at that, may he rest in power, and all about real live hip-hop this specific Saturday night. Two sexy and fly ladies known to me as Lady Evs, short for Ebony, and Lady Sadie, short for Satasha, caught the eye of Sir Madness. Sir Madness knew Lady Sadie back in high school times and was quite intrigued by her beauty, sex appeal, and allure. But this was the first time he had ever come across a Lady Evs, who was just as beautiful and sexy, but her style had more of a calming aura, and that put a smile on the face of Sir Madness. Sir Madness had a couple of his trusted brethren with him as well. One of the homies noticed Lady Sadie looking very focused on Sir Madness, and before you knew it, she was within hugging distance, throbbing with confidence and sexy style energy that could not be ignored. Lady Sadie asked Sir Madness how long was he going to act like he did not recognize her and make it do what it does the right way. Sir Madness laughed as he was drinking on a red stripe beer, and Lady Sadie had noticed what he was drinking on and had another round ready for him, as well as her own spirit dwelling in the vodka world known as Grey Goose, with a splash of cranberry and a lime and twist. The two went back and forth, catching up, the usual, shooting the shits, and before you knew it, the two were on the dance floor, really vibing. Sir Madness caught the eyes of Lady Evs focused on the two, but gave Sir Madness a very matter-of-fact style look that said every bit of, I want to dance and laugh too. But she held her composure and continued on lighting the club environment up with her glow. DJ Besto was beasting on the ones and twos, and in his enjoyment of this vibe, invited Sir Madness and his brethren to come talk some shit on the mic over some flawless instrumentals. You don't threat Sir Madness and his brethren with a good time. So he and the brothers accepted the invite and gave it to the people, real precise like. After that brief exercise of words and energy that seemed to have made the vibes get even more strong in the air, Lady Sadie gave her number to Sir Madness with her address attached and whispered in the right ear of Sir Madness, I want you to fuck me with that same power and control you just displayed on that fucking stage. Within an hour if you can. Please meet me at this address. Within an hour and a half after that exchange and request, Sir Madness arrived to the location, and as he went to knock on the door, it suddenly opened, and Lady Sadie was ready to get the goose fucked out of her royally that night. She jumped right into his arms and began to seductively kiss his neck and couldn't contain her urgency any longer and unzipped Sir Madness' jean zipper and whipped out his mad hard massive pole and began to compete in the extreme sport of the Deep Throat Olympics savagely, not missing one beat, drunk as what and all. That intrigued Sir Madness. Now keep in mind, Madness still has not removed any clothing, due to the fact Lady Sadie made it a point to say, I hope you can fuck me as good as buff niggas fuck me. Verbatim. Only his sneakers had been removed, and Lady Sadie slurped and eventually slurped a vest onto his slong and demanded he take her to that place. Madness did not hesitate and absolutely enjoyed every bit of that plunging and deep dicking exercise, also known as the Porn Fuck Chronicles Volume 1. Sir Madness used that energy of her saying that statement and tore that box to smithers and was gone like a ninja assassin without any second guessing or any questions, to say the least. That was a hell of a night and a good life lesson that Lady Sadie received. A hell of a night and a dope-ass nightcap. The end. Chapter 61. Oh, no. My fault. Part 2. See, I'm in my vibe. I've never did this here, so my apologies. But part 2. Part 2. This place looks familiar. A couple of weeks later, Sir Madness was out and about making rounds and checking clowns, just shooting his regular. And out of nowhere, Sir Madness spotted Lady L.I.V.E waiting for the bus on a beautiful rainy day. What made it beautiful was the sun was all the way present as the rain drizzled down. Sir Madness politely pulled over, got out the car, and did some genuine chivalry. Asked and offered Lady L.I.V.E for a ride to where she was going. Lady L.I.V.E accepted, and the two were on their way. Lady L.I.V.E had just got off of work and expressed how hungry she was for some good food and real live scenery and relaxation. Sir Madness was resourceful and had just the type of place that would solve her desires at that present moment. The two arrived at a spot called Wings on the east side of Cleveland, and it was very calm, like Sir Madness liked when he visited the place. Sir Madness ordered some nourishment and a couple of libations and enjoyed a much more settled and calmer version of the oh-so-gorgeous Lady L.I.V.E. Of course, Lady L.I.V.E. had to know how Sir Madness and her homegirl, Lady Sadie, knew one another. Sir Madness, without a doubt or hesitation, simply said, "From high school, I always wanted to do some very nasty things to her, but never pursued it." Lady L.I.V.E. responded with a subtle but sexy laugh and said, "You didn't like all of the competition." And sure enough, diva vibe, huh? And let out an even bigger laugh as to bait Sir Madness to join in, as he did, and said, "Nah, I don't compete with the non-elite. I just do what I do." Lady F said, "Y'all looked real comfy on that dance floor the other night, and she almost lost it when you were on the stage killing shit on that mic." Madness was flattered and said, What you know about that?" Lady F smiled and leaned in and gave Sir Madness a soft kiss on the right cheek and said, "I know a man in control when I see one in his zone." And that shit made my vagina smile. Madness quickly responded with a half laugh by asking her, "Did you just say vagina?" She said, "Yes," with an F-A in the beginning. My language translates to that is fat ass vagina. And I have OCD about my body too, as well as my energy. I usually wouldn't have even accepted the ride, but I did remember that night, once I keyed in, that was you approaching me like a true gentleman. The food finally arrived, and Lady L.I.V.E. went in head first with no helmet, displaying her hunger. Ate a few items, enjoyed herself being fulfilled and fed, and enjoying good company, and ordered 2 more straight shots of Appleton rum, and looked Madness dead in the eyes and said, "Can we have our own freestyle live mic session? I can really spit that shit. And my roommate is not going to be home anytime soon, so we can get some recording done. So I want to vibe with you a little bit more, if that's okay with you." Sir Madness agreed, and the two were off. The ride to Lady L.I.V.E.'s was a joyous feeling one indeed, especially her vibe and energy. When they pulled up to her building, Sir Madness had a vibe immediately, saying to himself silently, I was just here a few weeks ago. What are the chances in that?" And as the two were walking down the hall of her dorm apartment building, Madness was really looking crazy, but keeping his composure and poker face steady, saying, "This place looks familiar as fuck," to himself. The two had finally got to the apartment, and Madness had all of the validating proof right then and there, and said to himself, "Wow, what the fuck kind of coincidence is this?" But kept his composure throughout it all. Lady L.I.V.E. jumped in the shower as Madness observed the porno scene that took place almost 3 weeks ago, just shaking his head, twisting up a very much needed fat one. Sir Madness did not have any expectations. He just was enjoying the now kind of awkward feeling and vibe the two were sharing as he looked in a familiar scene. Lady Evs came out of the bathroom with her robe on and her hair wrapped in a towel. Sir Madness had a lightweight grin upon his face from the lovely eye candy show that was taking place, and finally asked Lady Ev, "Where's the mic? Where's the mic at? Where's the recording equipment? You said you want to really get down. What's up? And continue this vibe." Lady Ev walked seductively towards Sir Madness, and once she reached him, she slow trim rubbed the bulge in his sweats and said, "You already came with the mic. I want to spit all over it," and pulled down Sir Madness' sweats and took off his shirt and began to truly rock that mic in her own way, demonstrating hella spit skills. Lady Ev's energy was very different from Lady Sadie's, and Sir Madness was loving every bit of it. Her hypnotizing eyes locking in on his as she delivered mouth-watering deep gulps all over Sir Madness' mic pole, and would occasionally ask, "Are you feeling my spit skills? Am I talking the language you vibe to?" Sir Madness pulled himself from the bottom and back of her throat and expeditiously slid a golden ticket onto his mic slong and began to rock her vagina box very beastly and calculated on what area of her honeypot he wanted to explore, enraging Lady Ebony to desire and demand more as her puss hydrant gushed with joy and mind-blowing excitement, forcing her soft and sexy toes in his mouth as he gave her the freestyle session she also desired ever since that night a few weeks ago in the club. Funny how Sir Madness experienced two different style hell of a nights in the same apartment with two very night and day different ladies. The end. Oh my God. See, it's times like this. It's times like this when I display this kind of art where I'll be like, man, do I remember? And I do. Very vividly. Very clear, cut and concise. And I see in color and dream in color. So it's even more enjoyable to spin around situations like this, passionate times like this, playing it safe and everything, using protection, doing everything. It's just enjoying a time with two different vibes at two different times who just so happen to coincidentally be college roommates. What are the odds in that? I know the memory in it was amazing, is amazing, will always be. Well, that was chapter 60, part 1 and 2. Title, This Place Looks Familiar to Me. I'm Live Ty, better known as TKK the JKK, creator of all of the art I display with you on the Real Live Adult Time Stories podcast platform, unapologetically. I love creating this way. I'm just getting started with you all. Until next time, please be well. Take care of yourself first so you are able to take care of those you love or that one you love. Real love is perfect, but at times it doesn't seem to love us back. Real live people are not perfect. Always remember, love is live. Good night, y'all.